Damn, I was not ready for this.
What do you mean? You started it. What you? How you not ready for what you started?
Assembled us. You assembled the four horsemen of the gacha apocalypse.
All right, look here. All right, ZZZ Adventures assemble. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kate the Seventh, and I'll be your host today. Today, I'm joined by CyanTril, AverageLuckGamer, and Valk. Yeah, I want to introduce yourself, starting with Cyan.
I play games hard. That's about it. I'm a gamer. I game more than I talk.
Okay. Average.
I make average luck gaming content on the internet. I'm pretty new to this, and I'm just happy to be here. Hi.
And last but not least, the Viking himself, Valk.
I'm Valk. I don't know why I'm here.
The fuck you mean you don't know?
To give meta takes, to drop your knowledge.
You don't know why you're here. Okay, whatever. I'm so glad y'all could all join me today. I'm glad we were able to do this, do more in the future, more collabs. But the first thing we want to talk about today is our feelings on the 1.1 live stream and how do we feel going into 1.1.
It was a quick nut.
You define quick nut for us, please, Cyan.
No problem. They dropped all the information so quickly. I was so happy that I ended up nutting instantly.
I don't remember much from the live stream, but I do remember is them showing Jane Doe walking.
Yeah, yes, I remember that very much.
Yes, it was very fast. It was lots of information. I wish it was a little bit longer, but I understand that
the walking, right?
The issue with the previous 1.0 beta, the 1.0 live stream was that it was too long and not enough information. So they did the inverse of that this time.
Yeah, for real.
I have a clip from that walk. But yeah, I'm just glad we got to see more of the characters, confirm what they actually are. Qingyi is a stun electric. Seth is a electric defense, and Jane is an anomaly physical. Is there anything y'all saw from them that y'all are excited about?
I like Jane Doe's ultimate the most. The amount of hits it looks like it does. I don't know about damage wise, but it looks cool. At least visually, it's stimulating because it's fast.
Yeah, it looks like a whole bunch of hits, like really quickly, which obviously makes sense with her being an anomaly agent. So yeah, I think she looks really exciting and fun to play. Yeah,
with Jane and physical finally getting an anomaly character.
I'm gonna fight you, Valk.
Hello.
I'm gonna fight you, Valk. I'm going to fight you, Valk.
What's wrong with Piper? Hold up, did I miss something?
This man. Oh my god.
Wait, did you make a
Jane
video?
has really, really good AoEs, and she looks like she's gonna be really good at just taking out crowds, which is one of the main things that's really annoying inside Qingyi defense is having to chase down one-off enemy that just ran away. So she's gonna be good at clumping them and nuking them right off the beginning. It looks like from what they showed. So that's gonna be really nice.
Yeah, that is.
Somebody not using Nicole.
Hey, you can only have one Nicole on one team.
You sure about that? Because Sukaku kind of sucks them in too.
Yeah, but it's not as good as Nicole's suck.
Oh no, so Nicole is a good sucker. But
hey yo, yo,
that's her kit. She's like the Venti of the game, She's good at sucking. Yeah. I think that's PG. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think if you're talking about Qingyi defense, their viability, I think Qingyi is going to have a little bit of an issue. While she has good AoE range and the stuns are good, she can hit a lot of mobs at once thanks to the range on her. I think the lightning attack. I think one issue going to be with her is it depends on the team comp. You're still going to have to go after the enemies, which is unfortunate. they're not gonna group up together. Some of them run at you. Like I forgot the name of the one that has like the shield and he runs at you. Like there's two small mobs.
Yeah.
We know what you mean.
Yeah. I think certain enemy compositions going to hurt her a little bit because of the issue that all stunners have, which is they can't group up enemies. And unfortunately, we have to deal with a lot of mobs now in Shield defense currently at the time of speaking.
Wouldn't that
She has enough break to match Lycone. One of the combos I got into doing was I would do like Lycone's skill, and that's enough break to just like smash one of the little mobs, which then triggers the assist like follow up. And then you use Nicole's assist to group the rest up, and then you swap back to Lycone to break another one and rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
And that's like a really good way to go back and forth. Yeah. But I'm saying if Qingyi has like similar levels of break to Lycone, which I hope she does, just event limited, then I can see like a combo like that really popping off.
Okay. Yeah, I to be honest, Valk, I think that her break is probably going to be higher than Lycone's because she's, as you said, she's a limited S rank, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just assuming that it's going to be better than Lycone. So
yeah,
if I can already do that combo with Lycone, who knows what I can do with her?
For real.
Yeah, I think her best team with Julian and Nicole, which I think is going to be her best team. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be
taking Ambi and replacing her. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a straight swap, right?
Yeah, it is. But I think it's going to be that issue you're saying, Cyan, is going to be a little bit alleviated having Nicole in the team, but you might feel it more with teams without Nicole.
We're trying to be different and put out that DPS Qingyi.
Hey, that's what I'm trying to
be
do.
me.
No, that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, okay. I feel like she could be a pretty decent DPS. Just because how. So one thing about Qingyi that I didn't mention is that her skills are very long. The active frames on it is you can see just the way she plays from her lightning attack. It's first of all she lets you break dance. I'm gonna call it what it is, but it looks like a very long skill, and then you want to build up the meter, so you want to keep her on point kind of long compared to most stunners who are currently EX special attack and tag out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell Valk too. I think that she's gonna be the stun character you stay on field with the longest.
Yeah,
by far. Because Valk was telling me how you don't stay on field as long with stunners right now, and I'm like, I think Qingyi's gonna change that completely
because they suck. Hot take, but stunners are the worst characters in the game right now. DPS are the best, and then supports are second.
I take it's hot. That is a hot take.
You're gonna get.
I think defenders are pretty right now.
Defenders are the second worst, but defenders and stunners are in the same bracket. If you like putting them in brackets, DPS Anomaly, so Anomaly attackers in one bracket, defense stunners are in another bracket, and supports in their own bracket.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll argue anyone over that. The only time stunners are going to be better is when we can kill the bosses in one stun. When we get to the ability, when we get the damage levels where we can kill bosses in one stun, I think stunners will be better. But the way the game's currently at, it's not. They're one of the weakest.
So you're saying you don't think Qingyi will always be Julian's best partner?
No. She would probably end up being, depending on her damage numbers, she might even be better by her as a DPS who does the ability to stun. I don't know her numbers right now, but that might be a better way because on-field presence, right? You lose a lot of damage by having on-field presence because of this DPS, right? You switch to another character and you build up this stun gauge, and if it takes you 2 cycles to kill the boss, what's the point when you could have just did 1 cycle and just had fought the boss a little bit longer? Yes, it does require a little bit more skill. Let's say that because the enemies are going to be attacking you more often, so you have to actually dodge. But other than that, dodge counter also being so good in this game, and I think people don't really utilize dodge counters as much as they should. It's just more DPS that you could be doing, especially on some characters. I think a lot of people always go to the perfect assist. I think they're too reliant on perfect assist. So that ends up causing you to do a lot less damage. The same thing applies to chain attacks. Chain attacks are also at the point in the game where it's actually a damage loss for most characters, because your other characters aren't built up nearly at the same level as your main DPS. So it's generally more beneficial to have like supports and just use your support skills to fire off and then just burst down with your DPS. You'll see it with like people who have like really high investment. They all do the same strategy.
Like, to bring up the dodge counters thing, in later Shiyu defenses, you know how it'll spawn like the main, it's like one wave, it'll spawn the boss, and the boss will constantly spawn like little guys that just shoot at you, right?
Yep.
If you spam dodge counters with your stun, you murder that boss like really fast. Like really, really, really fast.
Dodge counter is the best thing, one of the best things in the game by far. That's also why people struggle with hoyoverse, the Nirvana, whatever it is, because people don't really utilize dodge as much as they should, and they rely on perfect assist because they see the light and they think of hitting the RB button or whatever button you maybe have to activate perfect assist, rather than doing a dodge off of that and keeping your DPS on field to keep their damage high.
In Shiyu defense and not Shiyu defense, in hoyoverse, and the whatever was it, like Weathering Gardens, I can't remember, Withering Gardens, and against the final boss, like Nineveh, whatever her name is, a lot of times her indicator is like so much at the top of the screen, it's really hard to tell whether it's flashing yellow or red.
No, you do play off sound. That's the one of the mistake. People don't play off sound. You hear the sound effect, you know the dodge. Sound effect is a good way of. Sound effects are very important
anyways, because there's only one attack you actively want to like parry, quote unquote, and that's her like spin move she does at you, because you do so much stun on that. But other than that, like dodge is the best way to actually deal with that thing, because you get one of the dodge buffs you can pick up makes it so you enter like slow-mo for like 4 or 5 seconds. Yeah, you pick that up, and that's like the absolute best way to deal with that difficulty.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to trust your guys' opinion because I haven't pushed that deep into endgame yet. But I did have a question for something you said a moment ago, Cyan, just in relation to the stunners. If we could do it in one rotation, then the stunners would be better. But if we have to do it in 2 rotations, doesn't that increase the value of the stunners? Because we need them more,
because you have to build it back up. So you got to factor in a lot of time there. So first you have the building up of the first stun, right? So that's time to get there. Then you have the boss being in stun. So that's time because the boss is in stun now. So that takes time. Then you got to build it back up once again. And then you got to deal with the boss in stun another time. And each of those are like 30-second intervals, maybe a minute, depending. So that's 4 minutes.
And overall, that's like a damage loss in comparing to
for sure.
Keeping your DPS on field. Okay, I hadn't really thought about it that way, to be honest.
DPS and supports, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And I agree with that, because I played a lot and I realized there's times whenever you just don't, like, I don't use Lycone, he's just there.
Also, you got to keep in mind,
just to keep Ellen up.
You lose time in the, so there's another thing that we're not factoring called chain attacks. Obviously, we know what they are, right? But that's time that the boss is losing its bar that's in stun. And you also got to factor in the animations that you have to watch on characters who generally we don't put that much investment into, like our stunners and our support characters, because guess what? They don't do that much damage. So you have. Yep. So, and it's even worse if you hit the bang booba into. I'm sorry, I have played a lot. Like a lot.
No, I did. What? That makes it useful. That's good information to know. I think, someone should do some testing on this. Get it out there.
Yeah, but Xuyan, when you have a boss stunned and you have full clip of her ether, her burst damage potential is insane.
Yeah.
So like,
and she does deal more damage when they're stunned as well.
The way I'm thinking is if you can eventually get your Qingyi high invested and your Xuyan hyper invested, Qingyi should be able to get Xuyan to that burst much quicker.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, it's only going to work if you kill in the one burst. If you kill in the one burst, then yes, hell yes, it's way better. But if you're going into multiple breaks or stuns, right, that's when it loses its value drastically. Even if it's like 80% of a boss health in one burst, it's still not better. No, because if you have to go to break twice, So like, what you gonna do? You're gonna go stay on Zhu Yuan after the boss is 80% done?
I guess it depends on the speed that you can hit that breakpoint, you know? Because if Qingyi's doing it really fast.
Oh, one thing I didn't mention, this is kind of important because we talked about the final boss of Wuthering Gardens. If the boss has phases where it's like invulnerable and you're using the burst to skip a phase, then in that case, then I understand. Yeah, the stunner would be better. For example, so Nyva, she has a phase. She has 2 phases that are called breakpoints. I like to call them that, at least. The first breakpoint is 60 to 70% of her health bar. Once she gets to this point, she'll go back to the middle of the map, and then she'll activate her like little invulnerable phase and she'll do a massive AoE nuke. Then she has another one at, I believe, 30 to 20%. And if you can skip that. You can skip the 60-51 if you do enough damage to push it all the way to 30-20. But the issue with that mode is that the boss comes out of stun immediately. So it doesn't even work.
And on the higher difficulty, she is so tanky. She has so much health. I don't know how you're going to nuke that hard that fast.
Like, I like stunners and all, but it's hard for them right now compared to support characters. You don't have to think about it, right? That's the biggest benefit of support characters. Stunners, you have a lot more thought in there.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't been thinking about the game that much, like that deeply. I kind of just been
because like I'm just
doing what feels right.
I'm going through my head through like all the enemies in the game right now that I know of. And I can agree that with you on that there would probably be times where Xian would probably prefer someone else other than Qingyi against certain enemies, but there's also other enemies I think Qingyi would be better.
The little robots that put up the electrical shield? Qingyi,
yeah.
That's why I want
Because I agree with that because they have the shield.
Yeah.
They get the shield if you don't push them into break fast enough.
Yep. They take forever to run down because they have the better break, or you're gonna have to chew through this.
One thing I don't know about them is their shield based off of HP breakpoint. So do they put a shield up after a certain amount of time, or it's about how much damage done to them?
It's after an animation. They just start like the animation. They'll just do it at literally any point.
So it's time.
Yeah, they just at any point they'll go through the animation and put up their shield, and you have to like break them before they actually get all the way through it. I mean, you can break them once the shield's up, but you just stop doing damage because the shield's really fat. And
the big shield
against it is electric.
I hate when that enemy drops, like that enemy plus the Mark II gunner. Oh my god, I hate that combination. It's the worst.
You gotta dodge bullets while dealing with the shield dude.
Yeah, that's
because otherwise he'll sit there and flamethrower you while you're dodging to get to one. Yeah, no, it's fun. Fun little time.
But yeah, my fault for the hot take. I just want to mention it.
No, that's a good discussion for this. Because there's been multiple times where my second team, because I just got shit luck for stunners on my account, my personal account, and there's times in the Qingyi defense on my second team, I'm like, fuck, man, I wish I could stun this dude faster.
So when you play, I'm just wondering, do you guys stay on your stunner at the start of the fight while the boss is getting like is stun up and then swap to your DPS? Like, how do you approach the game?
I kind of balance it, but balance the field time.
Swapping the characters back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, similar to that, but yeah, I do tend to stay on the stunner.
It doesn't
probably longer.
Like at the very beginning of the game, I will admit I was like constantly on my stun, but like as I got towards the later floors, I was like, yeah, this is not the play. Like I need to have them on the field at certain times, not the entire.
Okay. I've always, because I played the beta, so at first I used the stunner a lot, and then I swapped over to like just using them as EX special attack only, because straight up they didn't do enough damage. It's expensive to invest into them, so because I know I didn't invest into them, I knew that their damage is going to be pretty shit. And the impact gain itself, it's not like they're doubling they don't. generally they don't double the speed in terms of how much impact they apply to the boss. Only when like short bursts that they can double the speed with an EX special attack. But other than that, their speed is gradual. It's not like it's like maybe like 1.5 around there. So because of that, I found it to be just not the best outcome for me, at least the way I play the game.
Yeah, I will say this though. I don't know if this is a placebo effect from the Coleta buff when it was, you know, technically a bug. But a team I've been using a lot in Qingyi is Coleta, Piper, and Lucy. And man, ever since they fixed Coleta, it just feels like she stuns so like twice, sometimes 3 times faster than she used to.
Coleta is in terms of like quick burst, yeah, she's the best. That's instant like stun. I think she has like the highest multiplier.
My experience of using Coleta, as long as you're not doing her M1s and you're spamming the dodge, she absolutely shreds daze bars.
And like, yeah, there's been times where I've tried to use someone else in Coleta's spot for certain stuff just to test it, and it just didn't feel as good to me. Like the constant stuns that she provides felt so great.
Have anyone here tried doubled support?
Yeah,
like giving it a whirl?
I've had no choice in some teams because I just didn't have Coleta for the longest. So yeah, it doesn't feel bad. Like I've done Nicole and Sokaku with Ellen, and that didn't feel bad.
Okay.
I think I can agree with you that attacks and supports are currently better.
For now, this can always change, right? It's also because of our investment, right? Most people don't invest laterally. Laterally, the one that's like investing in each character, or in linear, it's just one character. Or I got that backwards.
We know what you mean though.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Most people don't invest in their whole squad. They always go gun in on the DPS. So because of that, that's why I recommend that for now.
Mm-hmm.
But this can change in time.
And,
I mean, I feel like I'm learning how to play the game over here, honestly.
I will also say another big benefit that supports have over stuns is supports. Their damage does not be scoffed at. My Sokaku and Lucy are hitting like trucks.
Oh, my Nicole hits more than some people Zuyuan, so I mean that's pretty bad.
Yeah, like supports actually have very good multipliers for their damage. Like I think my Lucy last night hit like 150k on her ultimate just so randomly. Because like the robot, he went backwards, right? And instead of just taking like 5 seconds to run to him, I just popped Lucy's ult. And you know the quick assist that supports give you, it let me teleport right to him. But as soon as I teleported right to him, I saw my Lucy's burst hit for like 150k, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck?"
Don't sleep on supports, man. Don't sleep on them.
So yeah, I can agree with that. I do remember one of my early videos for zenless. This is like when the game first came out. I said stuns can potentially, like, this is very early game, but I did say in one of my videos stuns potentially could be one of the best characters in the game. But you've made some good points.
I can't play without stuns.
I think as the damage output increases as well, like when we get more characters.
Like, if I remember in Light Cone, I'd have to go reread the kit, but Light Cone actually buffs a ton of ice damage. He actually does great.
If I'm also being honest, I think stuns will never be the best characters. Reason being is that they've shown that their way of increasing difficulty will be having enemies recover instantly from stun. We've seen this with intensity, right? And I feel like they're going to keep going down that trend because it works. Stun, when the bosses are stunned, we do get a pretty good substantial multiplier. What, 1.85? I think 185%. And you got Lycon pushing that to like 215 ish. Because of this, they've already noticed that the damage multipliers are kind of high. So their way of increasing difficulty is making the boss come out of stun quicker. So I feel like when it comes to like the really hard content, unless they don't do that, fully believe that the stunner is just going to have a hard time because the bosses are going to recover in like 2 seconds.
Okay, I got a question then. Do you really believe that they can't do something similar to the dinosaur from Honkai Star, for example? Like the dino takes, it's almost like you're healing him if you don't break his shield, right? But like, couldn't they release
the
enemies?
purple one?
Yeah, couldn't they release enemies where like you do such horrible damage until you fucking stun them?
Yes, I fully agree with that. That's possible. But that would be different because in the next, like, you gotta keep in mind, the supports have like 10 levels to it. So we have supports that boost stats and stuff. Most supports are gonna eventually start doing more defense shred other than Nicole, right? So when they have that higher defense, we're just gonna pivot to having our supports all focus on penetration, and at that point, it may still favor supports. But I do agree that it can happen where we'll have to worry more about pushing the boss into stun, and maybe their stun is longer, and we have time to burst it while it's in stun. But I don't see that happening, at least until they address that all supports are just better than stun characters right now.
Mm-hmm.
It could happen, but it's just that right now supports are the better way to go because they require way less effort. They practically need no investment. Supports need the problem with stunner, they require investment, like real investment. Support characters, you just slap something on them and here's my 40% damage multiplier out of nowhere for whatever. That's the only issue with, I guess, other than Lycon, he has the multiplier increase off of his core skill, so it's not nearly as bad. But other stunners, they kind of do need a little bit of investment.
Mm-hmm. So we've been talking pretty long now about the direction of character meta, which was the second one. I actually wanted to talk to you, Cyan, and Average about something that me and Valk were talking about in DMs a while back. We were talking about stuns. What about the future of defense characters? Because I made a video on this actually, and it did pretty well. But Valk says that he believes defense will, quite honestly, always be pretty much useless. And I wanted to get you guys' opinion.
I kind of agree.
Think defense would be good if they make a Zhongli and I get a shield, because right now we don't have healing, right? If I get a Zhongli, then yeah, I think a defense would be good. As a shielder, and the shielder, what if the shield, whenever it takes a certain amount of damage, it like retaliates the damage back or something? I think defense could be good.
Yeah, I kind of think defense is always going to be niche and probably not meta. I think even if we think about it from like a Zhongli perspective, even when we get something like a Zhongli, like Zhongli is never on the highest damaging teams in Genshin. He's there for safety, right?
Yeah, but that's what we need in this game currently. There's no healing, so safety is what we're gonna like when the game gets harder and harder, and we're like only living by like maybe 1 or 2 hits.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That maybe the safety will be beneficial, but then we need someone who's actually really good at defense.
I agree.
We do need a Zhongli.
And it has to buff too.
Yeah, just in terms of the information from the trailers and stuff, I think no leaks or anything, but there's the white-haired woman in the trailer, the Sons of Caldeon. She looks like she might be like heading them up, and she's got like a sword and a shield in the trailer. I think that she could end up being an S-rank defense agent that could be something that's interesting, like i.e. meta-wise, but I think until then, probably not something we're thinking about.
See, the way I just see it is, if I was Hoyo and I want to sell new S ranks of every single type, you gotta bring content into the game that incentivizes that these type of agents are going to be the best in. So I can easily see them, if they want to really, really sell an S rank defense agent, not just off of their personality and their looks, but also their gameplay, I can easily see them adding in enemies or bosses even that just heavily punish you for fucking up. Not even just like killing you like one shot, but what if they made an enemy where if you perfect assist an attack or you dodge a certain attack, instead of losing 1 or 2 of your defense points, you lose 3 or 4. It just drains your defense points, right? They could easily make an enemy like that and like just leave you with no fucking resources.
But do we think Hoyo's going to go in the direction of making the game that hard?
No.
Yeah, like, because if we think about the success they've seen from Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact, those games are relatively, they're not that hard. And then you look at something like Honkai Impact the Third, which is a lot harder. And this is something we were talking about earlier, Valk, I think, and it's. I kind of lost the train of thought in my conversation there, but you will get where I was going. Like, it's like they've seen massive success from having games that aren't hard, so I don't think they'll go in that direction.
I think anything that difficult would be just like Withering Garden is now. Because like I said, it's not like nothing in the game. You're mostly stat checked up until you hit that like 11th difficulty, where it doesn't even tell you what it's doing. It just says buffs everything. That's the only time in the game where I'm like, oh my god, this is really, really, really hard. Other than that, everything else has just been stat checks. So I don't think they're going to ever make the game like insane.
If I had to say one thing, I believe it will get harder. I think the one thing that they have to do is very simple: damage over time. That's it. They already have it in Withering Gardens. To have more bosses, have a field where it damages you over time, and then that way, if you play too long, you don't have enough DPS. You're gonna fall into the one-shot territory, which will benefit having a defense character that has like a shield.
Or just dodge. You got it.
That dodge too, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay, Mister took hours to beat the Withering Guardians.
Hey, I did, and I didn't get hit. I mean, like, Cone got hit. Rest in peace, him. But I didn't get hit.
What are you talking about? You had to restart so many times. You literally uploaded the video.
No. You see the one upload?
No.
I won that one. That means I only did it in one take. Easy.
Nah, that's not how that works, Val. That's not how that works. You got destroyed. But another thing about defense characters, and the reason why I think that they can add enemies that drain your assist points faster is, I don't know if you guys know this, maybe you do, but if you parry with a defense character, or you do a chain attack with a defense character, you get more assist points back than any other agent.
What?
I've never used a defense character, so I wouldn't
like
know
if
that,
you
but
use Ben and you parry or chain attack with him, you get more of your assist points back.
I didn't know.
Nah, I mean,
So that's what I'm
wild.
saying. Like, if they add an enemy that takes more assist points away from you, you could easily just completely negate that by having a defense on your team.
Same thing I told you in DMs, though. My opinion on it is the fact that the game right now is just so aggressive and so like go, where you just get like the defense character would have to be so absurdly broken to actually be of relevance, or it just wouldn't matter.
yeah, because they're
Like,
going to be
if they-
pushing out one of your characters.
Yeah, you're going to be pushing out something that helps you in damage. And to put it bluntly, the more damage you do, the faster thing dies, the less opportunity it has to do damage to you. So
I agree.
you need something to be able to counteract that.
And I feel they're gonna make a defense character who's so broken with a shield that provides crazy buffs out of nowhere, and a Wenjin that is going to reflect damage on some bullshit. That's what I believe. I think it's going to happen.
I just think they have to have, like, if they don't make a really good defense agent, then they're just not going to sell, like, at all.
I think the most likely outcome is going to be one or two options. The first defense character we get that's 5-star is going to be so overly overtuned that it's going to be like a must pull, or they're going to be straight booty. It's one or the other.
Yeah, there's no in between on this.
Yeah,
They're not going to be just all right. There's no way.
No way, not happening.
One suggestion I had is, you know how Ben and Coleta have coordinated attacks with each other, where Ben will come on the field and help Kaleda. Now, I don't know if they'll do this, but I think it would be so cool if you make a defense character, and if you're about to get fucked up, they have a coordinated save. Like, they just automatically come on field and block it for you.
That sounds amazing. Holy hell, that's a good idea.
Like, I think that would be so fucking sick.
Let's write that down.
It'd be like a 1% thing, right? It leaves you with 1 health and then swaps your character.
Yeah, like imagine Valk, you're in Withering Gardens. No, you're not even in Withering Gardens. You're in a new hoyozero in game mode, and the boss is like fucking you up, right? And you're Ellen, about to get clapped. You fucked up your timing on your dodge, and then out of nowhere, your defense says, "I got you," and just saves your ass.
Oh,
And then they have to give buffs while they're off field. And then they're good. The saving mechanic, it's good, but it wouldn't be enough ones. Like I said, the main thing is the loss of DPS. Because the longer the enemy's alive, the more odds of you dying.
Yes.
I
don't disagree with this. Like, I do trust, like, and understand that you do have to have the damage. I understand that fully. But going back to the Zhongli point with Genshin, right? There's been so many teams, and even till this day, there's a reason why Zhongli is still one of the top 5 most used characters in the Abyss. There's a reason. Because you have so many teams you can build nowadays that only need 3 characters to do the damage. And then Zhongli is just there for the safety. So who's to say we can't have teams in the future where you only need two members to do the damage, and then you have the safety?
Yeah, and to be fair, I probably wouldn't say no to that, as I have boomer reflexes, but
But the question is, will we ever get to the point where two characters by themselves can do enough damage to clear in time?
we can. Solo can already do it.
True. Very true. So I do think that there is, look here, either defense are going to see the biggest glow up in the game, or they're just going to stay at the bottom. It's one, like you said, there's no in between. I don't ever see them being middle of the pack. They're either going to be one of the best agents in the game or complete dog shit.
Yeah.
And both could be true. Like, Seth and Ben can chill out at the bottom, and someone else could come in at the top.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Ben is underrated, though. He gives 16% crit rate, and how much damage percent does he give? Isn't like 40? I do think he's underrated.
I hope nobody ever uses Ben.
He's just so slow. He's so slow.
He is slow. I will give you that. He's
He's no fun.
He runs in mud.
If
But
no
he's
one,
cool.
if no one
It
uses
is-
Ben, what's going to happen is that they're going to realize that, oh wow, no one using defense characters. And they're going to make the next defense character a nutty. That's what I believe.
Yeah, they'll lean in, overtune it.
Yeah, but
they'll do.
talking to Valk, I know he would hate that. Valk doesn't want an easy mode character added to the game.
Yeah,
It's going to happen. Always happens.
Oh, I probably will. It's a Hoyo game. And then I'll be like, I'll go in there with no defense character, be like, man, this is hard. And somebody's like, no, this is easy as hell. What do you mean?
Okay, so since we're
We just
already
go Zhongli.
we've already kind of started we've already like into the direction of characters. We've already started talking about some underrated characters and the in-game feel, so let's just combine it all. We've already talked about stun, we've already talked about defense, we talked a little bit about attack. Let's move on to how we feel about Anomaly characters and their future. Cyan, you want to go
Characters
first?
in the game. Best characters in the game.
You think they're the best?
Mhm.
I agree.
I haven't used any, so I have no opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
Using,
Grace is my first S rank, and
I don't
Using
Yeah.
Nicole
Great.
and Grace. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
love it.
That's such a good combo. It's so good.
They're
Yes.
fun to play. They don't do like the biggest like one hit number, but the damage is very consistent. And it's one thing that people don't know about Anomaly characters. They have the best decibel gain in the whole game. Grace decibel gain is ridiculous. You can fire off ultimates back to back like really fast because every anomaly effect you proc gives you decibel points back. and you can just really just do a lot of ultimates with them. So yeah, I think they're the best characters in the game, by far.
Yeah, I also think as well Piper, and obviously Jane Doe is coming, but Piper currently is really good. She's kind of carrying my second team at the moment.
Bro,
Yeah.
I've been able to push to Shiyu 6 simply because of Piper. She has carried my account on her back, bro. It's crazy how good Piper is.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
if Piper is this fucking good, and I only have M2 by the way, if she's this fucking good, I cannot imagine how cracked Jane is about to be.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna let Piper take the Queen of Physical Anomaly crown. I think Jane Doe is. She's gonna come in hot, and I think she's gonna be safe.
It's more of like the ability that Anomaly have to just destroy mobs in seconds. Like they just, it's like mobs don't even exist when you have an Anomaly on the field. Like it's like, what mobs? I only see the elite.
I got a question for you guys, right? Because this is something I was thinking about myself whenever I got Ellen's M2. How do you guys feel about them doing things like Ellen's M2 where they lock like critical combo paths behind dupes?
They've been doing I think you stopped. You stopped playing Genshin for a while, right, Valk?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Almost every single, not every single, but almost every single Fontaine character they've done that with. So I think Hoyo is just going
combos
down.
specifically.
Yes, like for example, Rio Thesley, the new Ice Catalyst DPS from Genshin from Fontaine. They just said, "Fuck you! You can't do his charge attack combo without his C1. Fuck you! No, you better get that C1."
That's crazy because like the damage difference between like an M1 Ellen and an M2 Ellen being able to do the EX scaled back to her like I think 4th normal back to like being able to do these really high multiplier attacks back to back to back is absolutely insane. Like the damage difference between the two like dupes is wild because of what
I don't mind
it.
I think it's okay.
I think it's
As long as I can use it in Hollow Zero, I don't mind.
Yeah, I think it feels really bad as like a free to play or low spend player, and obviously that's the audience that my content kind of targets. It feels bad that they lock that kind of stuff behind the mindscape.
You can still use it in Hollow Zero, so it's good enough for me.
Yeah, I guess you can unlock it in Hollow Zero, but it still feels bad, man.
It's always gonna feel bad.
Yeah.
If you want it to not feel bad, you don't have to spend money. It's just how gacha games are.
The way it works. That's the way it works.
Yeah, it's like playing in Honkai Star Rail, and your Firefly gets another turn because he killed an enemy or something.
Yeah, and also to that point though, Valk, is M0 Ellen bad?
No, not at all. You still get like a lot of your capabilities, but it's just the difference is massive. Because I mean, the access to be able to chain the moves back to back to back, it lets you save the energy of not having to do that first because you have to chain EXs until you're able to unlock this, right? So you would have to use 2 EXs to be able to actually get access to the powerful one. And then the other thing is it lets you skip all of the small normal attack multipliers and hit like just the big one. So you're able to do big multiplier, chain to big multiplier, chain to big multiplier over and over and over. And you're able to save a lot of energy and be able to just turbo out damage to the maximum output. It's why it's such a big difference. It's insane the difference between M1 and M2.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is wild, but
this is
Gacha's gonna gacha, I guess.
This is kind of become a normal thing though between Hoyo.
Yeah.
So, I can understand how you can feel bad for maybe free to play and low spender, but it's kind of become normal. Like the normal thing they're doing.
I guess as long as the content can still be cleared with the M0 character, it doesn't really make a difference, I guess.
Yeah, and there's people who are clearing Shiyu 7 with M0.
Hi.
Yeah, so like You don't have to have him too.
No,
No, you don't have to. It's just
it's crazy how broken
really
it
big
is.
difference. Yeah, really big difference.
But we've talked about pretty much every class, right? To a pretty good degree. Do you think there are going to be any classes that fall off in the future?
I think there's always going to be a back and forth between like just straight up. I think the actual class name is like Assassin or something, but between straight up DPS and Anomaly, because Anomaly kind of double dips. It kind of does both. So it's very easy for it to overshadow and overlap. So I think there's always going to be like a back and forth between those two classes.
Do you think
Wait for that anomaly buffer?
Do you think when we get some because like what we've seen from Star Rail, man, like, you know, limited supports, do you think when we finally get some limited supports in Zenless, they're gonna be absolutely insane?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be crazy if they weren't.
As much as you guys talk about multipliers and stuff right now, I think the multipliers in the game through buffers right now is relatively low, to be honest. I think like it could go way, way, way higher. So we'll see.
Yeah, that makes sense. But how does the current endgame feel to y'all? Like Shiyu, Withering Gardens. How overall, if you had to give it a scale of 1 to 10, how does it feel to y'all? And what do you think they can improve?
I'm gonna stay quiet for this bit because I haven't pushed that hard and I've been away for a week.
Talking about critical mode.
Yeah.
For me, I would like to see more aggression from enemies. Honestly, I don't think the enemies are aggressive as they should be. A lot of enemies kind of just stand there, or you have to chase them down. I don't want to run after enemies. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's about for Shiyu defense. That's about it, really. I don't have too much complaints about it. I just want the enemies to come to me rather than me run after them. I like how they have it so that you do less damage if you don't kill the mobs. So you're incentivized to kill the mobs first and then go after the elite enemy. I think that's cool. In terms of hoyozero, so we didn't even talk about it, but they're going to be adding a change in 1.1 where they're going to be making Nineva just a solo fight alone, and she'll be level 60. So I'm looking forward to that. My issue with it is that the one thing I liked about hoyozero, it was never based on a timer. Yes, you do get incentivized to beat the floor bosses quicker to get S rank, so you get the extra loot on each floor on the side. But that loot is so minor that it doesn't really matter too much. But that now with the final version of hoyozero, I don't remember what the name of it was called, but they're putting a timer on it. It is a 3-minute timer. And if it's anything like Intensity 11, where it has all the buffs and instant stun, it's gonna kill stunners. Like stunners are gonna get fucked hard. So
it's called
we'll
Inferno Reap.
Inferno what?
Inferno Reap.
Yeah.
Like
So yeah, I think that's gonna be a big issue for people.
I think for me, Shiyu defense, I'd like you said, give it a score out of 10, right? I'd put like in game right now like a 6 out of 10, because like Shiyu defense is mostly just feels very stat checky. Like a lot of times until you get your stats up or until like you're running very specific team compositions, basically you just feel like you're hitting a brick wall because you literally, no matter what you do, you just can't kill it fast enough. So it's more about like what you have on your characters exactly, and it's less about the difficulty of the stages themselves. Where in Withering Garden on, like I said, like cranked 11, that's whenever it actually feels really good because you're kind of forced into the difficulty of the game because the amount of debuffs and everything that you go against, you hit once, you're missing half your health, no matter how tanky you are. So stuff like that to me is really fun, and I like that kind of in-game where it's much more rewarding and it's very, very difficult rather than just stat check. So I hope they do more of that. I don't know though. I don't think they will, but I do like that a lot, but I don't really care too much for just stat check because that's just time. Anybody can spend time on something.
For Shiyu, do you think they're gonna add 3 more floors? Because like it's kind of weird only having 7.
Yeah, they are kind of like how they did with what's it called? Memory of Chaos.
Yeah.
If they do, you think they're going to increase the level cap on the characters?
No.
So they're just going to go like, what would it right now it goes to 70, so it'd be 75, 80.
Yeah, I think 80 would be the stopping point. 20 levels higher than us.
That's going to be crazy.
They could probably go to 100. I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
We'd have to have some crazy characters then, because being 20 levels down from an enemy feels awful. So
I did most of my shield defense was 20 levels lower.
Yeah, but I was kind of dumping everything into LN, so I was kind of really coping on the offside.
One thing I didn't mention is I didn't give it a number. My fault. Shield defense for me would be like a 7.8, 7.5, I guess. Hollow Zero would be 8 to 9, so 8.5. I like Hollow Zero a little bit more, though I'm not the biggest fan of the TV mode.
Yeah, for me right now,
the biggest fan of the TV mode.
I played it a lot.
Yeah, no, so I kind of like the management of it, like when you're managing your team and stuff in the TV, and then you got your Hollow Zero fights and stuff. I think it's kind of cool.
Has anyone here did the prophecy?
The what?
Yeah.
I've done it twice. Okay, so I've done a lot of TV mode. I am okay with TV mode.
I actually like the prophecy quest because it's like an old school text RPG. It's really sick.
Did you do it twice?
I know a lot of people didn't like it. I didn't do it twice.
Okay, then I did it twice. So
I mean, I still like it. I just don't.
Oh, I liked it the first time.
Yeah. No, I just don't feel like you're really big. What'd you do? You went back for the true ending?
No, I did it the first time on the beta, and I did it again on this. So the first time it was like 50 something minutes, and then the second time was like 40 something.
No, I spent like 2 hours on that quest.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I was doing everything.
Oh, I did everything.
I was taking my sweet time. I was farming, grinding levels, and all of that.
I could tell. You probably went to the bathroom, got something to eat.
No. At first, I thought it was gonna
anime.
be quick, right? I thought it was gonna be quick. So I was doing something on the side while I was like brain AFKing it for like the first 30 minutes. Then once I realized how much time I spent on it, I turned everything off and I locked in. And I just started, like I said, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. It was just like a text RPG. I know that quest, a lot of people didn't like that quest though. A lot. Because it's long.
It's long.
Yeah. I think it was pretty good. But, Gamer, I know you said you didn't want to really chime in too much, but I want you to. Because I want to hear, because I think you're probably the only one here who hasn't, I think Cyan, me, and Valk, we all refresh, and we pretty much spend just enough to get what we want. You don't do that, so I want to hear like so far your experience, even the little bit of endgame you've played, or working your way to. Like how's your experience been?
Well, I've made it to like the final Hollow Zero, but I haven't done it yet. Where you fight the big plant thing. So I think there's like another one after that. Is that right?
After you beat Withering Guardians the first time, you unlock ramping difficulties.
Yeah, like a harder difficulty.
A ton of rewards from
okay, cool.
It's really nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I am right now for that. And it seems fine. The difficulty doesn't seem too bad. I think you just got to be smart with your buffs and stuff that you take, and then also managing the corruptions and stuff, which I kind of am enjoying that part of it. And then the Shiyu defense side of things, I've done all the blue, and then I pushed like 2 into the red, and then I started like B ranking on the second one, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop for now. And then now it's reset, and I haven't played for a whole week, so that's kind of where I am. I'm enjoying it, but I just feel like my characters aren't built enough. It's kind of like Valk said, it's a stat check, right? Like my characters aren't built enough to push that deep in. So I'm hoping before we get to the end of this Shiyu defense, because it's on a timer, right? Is it like Is it like 20 days or something?
Now, right
16
now,
days?
it's less than. So it's on a 2-week timer now.
2-week timer right now. Yeah. So I'm kind of hoping by the time we get towards the end of this like part of Shield defense, that I'll be in a position where I can clear at least, and then we'll see whether or not I can, get the S ranks and stuff. But yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with it, and I'm also okay with not doing it or rushing it or anything like that. Like these games, I've said this before, and Kete, I know you said it too. These games they're marathons, they're not sprints. Unless you're making content and you want to share the content of clearing the hardest stuff, which is not what I think that people watch my channel for.
I got you, bro. I got you. What are your future plans for pulling? Because I know you've told me multiple times, like if you don't get a character, then you just don't get the character. You're not whaling. So, who are you trying to go for next?
Honestly, I am thinking that 1.1 might be a.
He died.
I thought that was me, bro. I was like,
give him some polychrome so he can revive.
Wait a minute.
I was sitting here, I was looking at my connection. I'm like, is my connection good?
Bro, he died.
Did I just drop?
Gamer,
Yeah,
you said 1.1.
Literally, my internet just dropped out. Why is it doing that at like 1 a.m. UK? Anyway, 1.1 might be a skip patch.
Oh, you're not gonna get Jane or Qingyi. Okay.
I think based on what we currently know, I may not get Jane or Qingyi. I think Qingyi is lower down on the priority list, and Jane is a maybe. But it also depends on what's going to happen for 1.2. So I think the smart play is to wait till closer to the end of 1.1 when we get the 1.2 special program, and then we can make an informed decision. And that's the biggest of buts. And by the biggest of buts, I mean, goddamn, look at Jane. I don't know if I'll be able to hold myself back. I might just send all my polychrome on her. We'll see.
This man's simping, but I can't blame you. Can't blame you. So that pretty much we've had a good talk here. Pretty much, we kind of naturally went into the other topics without having to transition that much. So just to wrap it up here, going one by one, how do we all feel about covering the game right now and for its future? And just shout out your socials. We'll start with Gamer and then go down to Cyan, then Valk.
Heyo, so I have a Discord and I have my YouTube channel, AverageLuckGamer. I have made a Twitch and a Twitter, but don't feel pressured to following them. Just come check out the YouTube channel. I've only made 10 videos. Just come hang out. It'll be cool.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Gamer
Complete
completely.
Lycon fan base. Don't hate me. I like stunners, but I'm just keeping it real with you. I use them, so I know some Lycon hate. He's the best. Please. I have a YouTube. I have multiple YouTubes, but feel free to follow if you want. CyanTril. I could try CyanTril, the zenless, the one I use for zenless. I'll probably cover the game most of the time. I like the game. This is the game I play the most compared to any other gacha game right now. So it's cool. That's about it for me, honestly.
Valk.
All right. For me, I'm Valk. Homeless guy that he pulled up off the street, forced into a conversation about this game.
Oh my god.
I don't really upload too much, so I didn't. Instead, sub to Kete.
Oh my god. I love how all three of you completely ignored the first part of what I said.
What did you say?
I got a short attention span, dude. I forgot.
What were?
I forgot.
Okay. Do you see yourself covering the game long term?
I did mention that. Why are you lying?
You did?
Yeah, to be fair, he did mention that, and I was like, Oh, I should have said something, and then I was like, oh,
Yeah,
well.
Okay, here, let me
yeah.
answer that real quick. As long as the game is fun and they keep pumping out fat asses and massive titties, I'll be locked in.
Okay, Coomer.
Wow,
I got you. Full
okay.
Coomer.
Mm-hmm.
Full Coomer.
Yeah, I don't think I could have said it better, right? Yeah, the game, as long as the game still feels fun. I don't know. It doesn't have to be fat asses and big ass titties, but it could be.
As long as I get a challenge.
I'd be happy with a Zhongli, you know, like a daddy kind of figure. That would be cool.
You are you saying you want someone to call daddy?
That's not what I'm saying.
As long as there's a challenge for me, that's all I need.
I feel you. Well, I think we're gonna wrap that up. It was a good discussion. Appreciate every single one of y'all coming, and make sure you guys check out all their socials. I'll leave a link in the description and the pinned comment below. And until next time, my name is Ben Kete the 7th, and with that, we're signing out.